In Navratri. Navratri is all about fighting against various kinds of ignorances we have, and what better way to fight it with the knowledge and the discussions that is carried on through Puranas. And we have with us Dr. Asha, who would be taking forward what happens after where we left off when the Jyotistambha came and Brahma went across with ego, told, yes, I saw. What happens next?
Now Brahma is sitting with lot of pain, and there comes Parvati or Adi Shakti, not exactly Parvati. In most of the books, you see that as Parvati, but it is Adi Shakti because Parvati is not stillborn. This feminine energy is coming with a bowl of turmeric and she is applying to the head of Brahma. And Brahma is receiving that feminine energy. That is when he realized three things. One, without feminine energy, how can I create? The first question in his mind. The second question is, how do I establish this feminine energy being a masculine? Okay. And the third thing is, how do I hear this feminine energy? How does that look? How does that hear? And how does that feel? Okay. And then Adi Shakti comes in the form of Gnana Ambika, and she will give a bowl of milk. And there are three things that happens after he drinks that milk. One is he'll get that Kshama from Shiva. Shiva will tell him, of course, you have done a blunder. It's not just mistake, it's a blunder. So you are punished. Anyway, you're not going to get any template for your puja in the Bhumandal. So the Bhu, Bhuva and Suvaha, okay, you are not pujaniya in any of this. So that is enough, and now you should start creating. The creation has to start from now. So Brahma is sitting with blank head. How do I create? Okay, and he is breathing. So through his breath, there is a feminine energy that is born, whom we call it as the Veena Pustaka Vahini, or the Vagdevi, or Saraswati. So we all, do Saraswati puja. We offer puja to Saraswati. How Saraswati is born? She's born out of the breath of Brahma. When he thinks of the feminine energy, when he thinks how compassion the Adi Shakti was. Okay, in that imagination, this is how a female looks like. This is how the qualities of the feminine energy should be. Okay, and the creator comes out with something called as a beautiful aspect of Shiva Purana. Saraswati is born. And then Saraswati will give him the knowledge of how to create. Lot of times we all have creativity, but we don't know how. If your children are coming and asking you, Mama, can we do this project? How? Okay, this is the first question. So creation needs, though Brahma himself is a Jnani, Brahma himself is a manifester of lot of things and the creator. He has the question how to create. And Saraswati gives him the Vidya to create and answers all his how questions. And that is Saraswati who provides knowledge. There's difference between Vidya, Jnana and Prajna. Vidya is something, the data collection or information collection, and knowing how to do, how to create is Saraswati's job. A lot of us are very good in that. And next, Brahma will have another question. Now I know how to create. Now I'm not understanding what to create. Okay, that is another Jnana. The creation stops. He knows, okay, how to create. He has brought all the ingredients and everything is ready, but he doesn't know where to start. And the energy that walks out of Saraswati will blends with the energy of Surya and become Sāvitrī. Savitar is the name of Surya Mandala, and Sāvitrī is the name, the root word is Savitri. Sāvitrī is one, and this is a Shakti which will tell Brahma from where he needs to start. Structure. So now you have knowledge, and now you have strategy and structures for your knowledge. From where to read, what to do. When you are doing assignment, this is something everybody would have experienced. You know what to write, but you don't know from where you have to start. So this is Sāvitrī. And is this enough for the creation? No. There is a beautiful girl who doesn't know to speak, who doesn't know to hear. How does that look? Yeah, without sound. Sound is such a beautiful energy that makes us feel so lively in our life. So there is some sound is required. That is when Savitri blends with Nada or sound and becomes Gayatri. Okay, this is the sound of creation. So Saraswati is born, from whom the energy gets channelized and infuses lot of Shakti to the creation, and now Brahma has started creating. Now he knows from where he needs to start. And with this, he has started his creation and has added the energy called sound. And that becomes Gayatri. So, Gayatri is the channel where the energy or the knowledge travels. For us to be successful, for us to be getting the gyans continuously, from wherever source it might be, okay, we need all the anugraha of Saraswati, who is Vidya, and we need the anugraha of Savitri, who is definitely is going to be the Gyan or the Gnana, and Gayatri, it is Prajna. That is why Gayatri mantra is very important and it has played its vital role. I think in the future classes, the time comes where I'm going to narrate the story of Gayatri, how the Gayatri mantra was born. Okay, so maybe after Vidyeshwara Samhita, I will be taking it up. So after this, Brahma still feels he's not complete. Okay, and all his completion happens only after his sons were born. So out of his manas or mind, 4 children are born who are ever children or they don't grow. Okay, their age is stopped at 7 years, whom we call it as Sanat Kumaras, who rule our 4 kinds of mind. That is our Mudha, Kshipta, Vikshipta, and Niruddha. Sanat Kumaras create passivity in our life. They don't allow our mind to move. Sometimes they make us restless. Sometimes they give us a lot of confusions and challenges. Sometimes they challenge your own common sense. Sometimes they create certain tests for you to know the power of your mind. That is the work of Sanat Kumaras. And then Marichi is born through the eyes of Brahma. And after that, who is Marichi is the father of Kashyap. And then Atri is born through the eyes of Brahma again. Okay, one of the eyes is Marichi, the other eye is the Atri. Angirasa is born out of his breath. And there is born Pulastya through his ears. Okay, and Pulaha through his navel. And from his lap, Narada is born. Likewise, all his children are born like Vasishta is born and they will tell him, we are not interested in creation. Sanat Kumaras are born and they will tell, sorry, we need to explore your Vedas. We are not interested in any marriage. No, we don't want to continue. We don't want to raise the families. No, so Narada is born and Narada will tell him, no, I feel I'm the son of Narayana because I saw Narayana for the first time. So I think I will be the disciple of him and Narayana is all enough for me. And nobody is interested. All Saptarishis are not interested in the procreation. So then Brahma will remove some dirt out of his thumb and creates Prajapati called Daksha. Okay, whose influence is there on all of us as Ahankar. Okay, from here, what do we understand? Prakriti and Purusha will not get into our life. Okay, they are given to us. That is Shrushti, Sthiti, Laya. All of us are part of it. There is no bias. Do you all agree? We are born and we sustain and we are going to die. This happens to everybody, irrespective of whoever it is, how much rich the person is, how much poor the person is. So Prakriti Purusha is like that. It happens to everybody. You have Prakriti, your body, you have your mind, Purusha. What is important is we need to grow beyond the cycle of Srishti Sthiti Laya. That is what we call it as Tirobhava and Anugraha. Okay, that is when the Buddhi, Manas, and the Ahankara is born. Okay, Tirobhava is the way how you blend or complement the nature. You become the nature, that kind of attitude. Anugraha is the grace. So you will only see the role of Maya in front of your eyes only when you have won over this cycle. This is the epistemology of understanding the birth of his son and daughters, or the sons of Brahma, that Sanat Kumaras represent our kinds of mind. Okay, and all the Saptarishis will represent our 7 chakras. Okay, from Vasishta, from Muladhara to Sahasrara Bhrigu, everybody represents our eyes are 3, like that. They represent our 7 chakras. Okay, how do we use that energy? How do we channelize this energy? Is all decided by Sarasvatī, Gāyatrī, and Sāvitrī. So that is what we see them as the Rajoguna, the Sattvika Guna, or the Tamo Guna. If we cannot break the cycle of Shrishti, Sthiti, Laya, we get into Tamas. Okay, so let me summarize you very quickly so that we all on the same page. So Brahma is now realizing this is the time for me to create. Then he doesn't know how to create. That is when Sarasvatī is born through his breath. And then what to create? So the energy of Sarasvatī blends with the illumination or the light of Surya and becomes Sāvitrī to guide him and infuses that Shakti into the creation. And then how to create, what to create, and how to channelize the creation is when Gāyatrī is born. So after that, all his sons were born to set the algorithm of Prakriti, Purusha, resulting in Buddhi, Mahat, and 3 gunas of the Ahankara. Okay, so this is about the creation. So once Brahma started creating everything, and the Agni or the Jyotistoma was there, that is the column of light. Okay, which taught a lesson to Brahma. Okay, today you see that as the Arunachaleshwara. Okay, the whole mountain, it becomes the whole mountain, and that mountain, even today you see people going there as parikrama or girivalam or something they say in Tamil, I don't know. A parikrama they go into circumambulation and they finish that and light the diyas there, and there the linga is being worshipped as Agni, okay, as Jyoti. There are 2 kinds of Agni in our life. One is Agni Sthoma, the other one is Jyoti Sthoma. What is this? When your Ahankar is ruling your wisdom, that becomes Agni Sthoma. Wherever you go, you finish people. Wherever you go, your intention is to win. Wherever you go, you have to just showcase your knowledge. That is Agni Sthoma. Sometimes it is going to burn you as well. Your own knowledge is going to kill you. There are a lot of Panchatantra stories on that. Okay. Jyotistoma is that I am going to burn, but I am going to give light for others. So there in Arunachala, the whole Agnistoma becomes Jyotistoma for people to know how wisdom can break and wisdom can make lives. Okay, so this is something about the Agnistoma, and then we are going to getting into the Samhita, that is Vidyeshwara Samhita, which is of 25 chapters. And it starts with the doubts of the sages who are listening to Shiva Purana. Okay, am I boring?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, it's
Ma'am,
music
this-
to my ears.
Yeah.
Because
ma'am.
I saw the Sanata, I thought, okay, are you all listening really?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So much of knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah. Tiruvannamalai is something which we will experience that when we go to that Moolasthana, it will be very heaty. I mean,
Yes,
it'll be
yes, yes,
you
yes.
can feel the temperature, ma'am.
Feeling.
Ever
Yes,
temp.
yes.
Yeah.
Have you ever done the parikrama?
No, ma'am. Not.
Please do that. Okay, it
Yes,
is
ma'am.
an amazing feeling. You need not have to go through what people used to feel like 15 years or 20 years. They did not have proper drinking water, loose, and all that. So it is about 13 to 14 kilometers and is a fantastic experience.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, it is in Purnima.
Yes,
Uh, I mean, the Girivalam will happen.
yes,
It's
yes,
called Girivalam.
yes,
Just
Giri.
because of this crowd, we are afraid to go.
Okay. So I request all of you to experience this not on Purnima, but yes, sometime where you are comfortable to do. So experience it. It's a wonderful thing. And if you have done this, you will see, first you will see the whole hill looks like the Ganapati with all the trunk and ears and all that. As and when you keep going, it will turn to the skanda, and then while finishing it, you will see it as lingam. So this is what is Jyotistoma is. And here, this day of Jyotistoma, it is said that it is the Margashira Masa and it is called as Shivaratri, not Mahashivaratri. Okay, this is Margashira which comes between November and December. It is celebrated as Shivaratri where Vishnu, Brahma will do tapas, will come on the earth and they take Agni Snana. Agni Snana is bathing through Agni with Agni and they get purified every year. This particular aspect or the fire sparks twice a month, which we celebrate it as the pradosha. Whatever dosha that we have, or whatever the prarabdha, or sanchani, or agamani, or karmas that we have carried from such a long time, knowingly or unknowingly, we have done so many sins. Okay, every 15 days, on the 13th day, it is celebrated as the Pradosha. There lot of rice is prepared. Why rice is given lot of importance? Why Naivedyam is only rice? Something made out of colorful color rices. Why is that? Because rice represents Muladhara, rice represents Chandra, and rice represents the first grain on the earth. So the dosha, if you have to get over it, this has been cooked, this has been shared with people, needy people who don't have food. That is also there in our philosophies, when to feed them and how to feed them, all that. So this is 13th day of not twice in a month. And there are three kind of pradoshas. Pradosha is being also celebrated. This day is so much liked by Shiva that this is the day he'll be more intimate with his beloved wife, okay, Parvati. So that you will listen when we are reading or when we are discussing, the Parvati Khanda. So here the reason of Pradosha and the three kinds of Pradosha. Soma Pradosha. If the 13th day is falling on Monday, it is celebrated as Soma Pradosha, which is very, very Chandra likes Shiva like anything. Okay, I will give you the epistemology part of it. If it is falling on Saturday, it is Shani Pradosha. Okay, we celebrate it as one of the day which turns to be the most favorable day or opportunity for us to become humble. And it is also celebrated as Bhauma Pradosha. Okay, Bhauma Pradosha if it is falling on Tuesday. Okay, what is this then? Shiva is our consciousness, our mind. If our consciousness blends with our emotion, that becomes Soma Pradosha. All our dosha related to emotions, all our dosha related to not being conscious or aware is gone. Okay? And Shani Pradosha. Shani is Mandagati. Shani means slow mover. If you want to move on in life, if you want to faster your life, take decisions in your life, Shani Pradosha. Bhauma Pradosha, Tuesday, that is meant for Mars. Mars is a soldier. If there is lack of courage in your life, then this is the thing. So when consciousness enters sun, enters Mars, enters moon, what happens? Okay, each graha represents a unique quality, and they take care of one of the aspect or facet of human behavior. From emotions to that of behavior is been channelized by all these grahas. So there no astrology. I know now you have astro apps also. Okay, so that's all your belief system, but the energy, the cosmic presence are also true. Okay, if you are placing your water bottle near the TV and then drink that water, you will have a different energy. If you are putting your water bottle near something, the mantra or the shloka, the experience of drinking water is different. So when you are sitting with some positive person, your body and your mind experiences are different. When you are sitting with somebody who always push you down, look down upon you, then your experience is different. The similar way, the grahas, the movement of grahas and their cosmic the effect on our mind and body is very, very effective. So Shiva Purana do give us the scientific format of Graha Srishti. So when we are coming to the Rudra Samhita, I will be narrating all the stories of Navagraha and their lives so that we can relate to those qualities and see where we can fine tune our life. So after this, the sages will start asking questions. These are all the doubts that we have. So the Sutta Puranikas or narrating the story of the Shiva will start clearing the doubts. The first question what they ask is, how can Dharma be preserved? Okay, how can Dharma be preserved in Kali Yuga? Okay, we say Kali Yuga is the effect, and once Kali Purusha gets into you, we fall into lust, desires, and whatnot. In that case, how do we preserve our Dharma? People are influencing and they are influencing. We don't know whether it is right or wrong, positive or negative. We don't know our future. And we are inside Maya and we are the Bali Pashus for this Vidhi. In this circumstance, how do I be part of Dharma? How can I preserve Dharma? Okay, through three things. Okay, Shravana, Kirtana, and Smarana. What does that mean? Shravana is how you speak. Choose your words. Okay, it might be your most loud one. Okay, how do you speak? What is your tone? That is Shravana. Dharma can be established. And number two, Kirtana. How do you appreciate? Do you appreciate the nature around? Do you appreciate small things that people are doing? Do you show gratitude? Okay, Smarana. Are you grateful? How do you revisit your life as a victim or as a shiro or hero? How do you? Dharma is not something, it is quite confusing when people speak about this. Dharma is something offering help. No, that is punya. There's a fine line between punya and dharma. Punya is there is something that I have, I'm going to share it with others, becomes your good deed or punya. Dharma is when you don't have anything, are you willing to give? That becomes dharma. Okay, there's a beautiful story from Mahabharata which I would like to narrate. When Pandavas are being given that verdict from Dhritarashtra that hello, 13 years you have to go out, you have to stay in the forest, exhalation, and 1 year Agnatavasa. Okay, they will all get into a room, okay, very close to, and they are so sad about it. They are feeling miserable. And there comes Dhaumya. Have you heard Dhaumya? No? Okay. Dhaumya is the rishi or the guru specially appointed to guide Yudhishthira. It's a character. He guides Yudhishthira throughout the, except Agnavasa, he guides him all the 13 years. He'll be with him. He will tell him a beautiful aspect of dharma. After listening to this, the mind changes. He will tell them, this is an opportunity. A Brahmin or the Brahmana, not the caste, today's caste system. I'm not speaking about it. The one who is a Gnani, one who knows about self is Brahmana, the one who has that. Okay, he is something will be part of dharma. He will be part of the kama, that is the action, samsara. And if he is a Vaishya, he will be part of artha. If he is a Kshatriya, all the three. If it is Shudra, it is kama. But you know what? You have got yourself free from all these three. Now you have an opportunity for moksha. That is when Pandavas realize, yes, we are not in any ashramas. We are not sannyasa ashrama. We are not following the brahmacharya. Nothing. We are not even samsaris. So we are having that opportunity where we can attain moksha. So these guys come out of the room where they lock themselves with so much of guilt and all that and say, yes, we are going to exhalation. And this will bring so much of surprise on the face of Kauravas. What has happened, mad guys? You are going to forest, but you are laughing, you are smiling. So this is how a dharmachari will be. So the Sutta Purāṇikas will explain to the sage, this is how dharma looks like. When you choose moksha against everything, you become dharmachari. Hope this story is relatable. All of us get into exhalation, right? Knowingly or unknowingly, we commit with few people which we don't want to, and we have a big time problem of telling no to people, and what people think, what people look like, how do I look like, and good girl, good boy images, so many stress. Always we are into exhalation, and we need one dhaumya in our life who will guide us. Bapre, leave all this. Work for yourself. Know yourself. You have enough traveled outside. Now it's time for you to travel in. So that is what the answer that Sutta Purāṇikas give the sages, that you need to learn the Shravana, you need to learn Kirtana, and you need to learn Smarana. What is that one thing I need to list? Okay, and the second question of the sage was very interesting. What is purity then? What do you call as pure? So there he'll tell him, he'll bring a ball of ice and a glass of water. He will ask him, is this both same? No. This is ice. This is water. Is ice sometimes water? Yes. Is water. This ice is going to become water if it is left. Yes, it is going to melt and become water. Are they both same? Yes. Purity is like that. Purity has no form. The things that are pure to you might not be for others. For things that are not for others might be you. That is what we call it as the cosmic conflict. How does this look like? The purity look like the jata of Shiva. That is the purest, that's why you find Ganga there. The purest form is, when you are confused, you say I am confused. When you are worried, please say I am worried. We hide it, we mask it. We want always ironed hair like this. The purest form looks like the jata. Show the jata. That's the purest, that's why you find Ganga there. So this is what the sage answer him. The cosmic conflict itself looks like this jata. So we are all jatadaris. We hold that clutters. We hold that confusions. How much it takes to just share it or just find answers ourselves. Lot of times we hide and mask our own self. We will not be truthful for self also. And we push problems. We push questions. What it takes to sit with the person and talk about it. What it takes for a loved one to hear, no, I'm not okay today. Today, I think I did that with Deepthi. And Deepthi called for something. I was definitely not in my frame of mind because I was having a very bad day today. Okay, I told her, Madam, I'm not in a position. Maybe I don't have that much of patience. Can we sort it tomorrow? So what it takes? What it takes to be that open book with our own people. What we do is we overshare with things who doesn't deserve. And we don't share things with people who deserve. Share with lot of wisdom. Analyze a person if he deserves your sharing, because your sharing can become his tool or her tool to fire against you. This is how the purity looks like. Payal, I'm going to take your question after the third question that Sage asked. I will finish that and I'll come back to you. Yeah.
We'll open the forum for questions, Payal. We can
Yeah.
revisit if we have to, but we will finish and we'll come back. Okay?
So, what leads to liberation then? How can I be free? That's the third question. Through Shiva Purana, how do I see Shiva? Shiva manifests himself as Satyojata, Vamadeva, and Agora, Tatpurusha, and Isha. Satyojata is Brahma, the creation, Vamadeva, Vishnu, the sustenance, and Agora, the Rudra himself, who is the part of dissolution. Everything that is born has to die. Every relationship that is born has to die. We see all this in the movies, you know. So this is going to be Savan Janma, I will be your wife, you will be my husband, these people will be our kids. We don't know, we are just wasting time speaking something we are not clear about. Okay, so this Phases of Shiva teaches how much clarity is required for us to fix creation, for us to organize and sustain, and for us to destroy the ignorance. That is when we experience Tat Purusha and Ishana, which is the doors for our liberation. So this is what the Vidyeshwara Samhita starts with the questions, 3 questions of the sages, where the Sutta Puranikas answer them by giving examples. So this Shiva Purana is something like, I remember when Arjuna takes Uttara Kumar. And Uttara, you know that he's so scared. He doesn't have that courage. And Arjuna will tell him, I have hidden some weapons there. Could you please bring that? He'll go and he will just touch that tree and he'll see 19 yards snake coming out of it and so much of crabs and stinging worms and all that. He gets so scared. He'll come back to Arjuna. Arjuna, there are no weapons. Only the stinging reptiles and stinging insects are all there. I'm so much scared. Arjuna will sit him and talk about what is courage. What is something to be a man or a woman who is fearless? How does that look like? Once he gets that gyan from Arjun, when he go and touch, the real weapons are seen. Life is also like that. As much as you are scared, you see all this coming on you. The moment you sit, sort it, put them on papers, everything will have its form. Yeah, that is what the difference between Agni Stoma burns you and Jyoti Stoma lights your life. It is illumination. Yes, this forum is open for questions.
Thank you, Dr. Asha, for giving us yet another life lesson through Puranas. All these while we knew the stories, we knew the characters, we didn't know their importance or significance or the symbolic representation in day-to-day life. It's not that we need to open a book and have that parayana to understand. It's just that we need to look within our own lives to understand Shiva Purana is what I made out of today's session. And question coming from Payal. First one which is there is, why do people get converted also Jain community or Parsi or to other minorities who are very strict with principles? When this is regarding when we were talking dharma, about dharma, when we were talking, this was the question arised. Is there a possibility that sooner or later this will end?
Dharma has 5 stable pillars. Okay, any dharma of any, these days we call it as dharma, but it is, format for me to structure my daily routine.
So, ma'am, is dharma and religion the same thing or different thing?
Different. I will tell you how we can understand this. See, today what we are drinking is coffee. Okay, coffee is made out of 3 things. One is the decoction, the milk, and sugar. Okay, none of this is dharma. Okay, milk is the custom which is being thrown on me, or which I am borrowing it as a lineage from my parents. Tradition is the filter coffee decoction, and sugar is the religion. Okay, so this is how we are seeing the coffee in these days. This is just an example. But when it comes to the religion is a format that is being made for people to follow the social norms and be in a right way. It is the process of drawing the boundaries,
So if
setting
I'm
the
a
social
Jain who
norms.
doesn't believe in not eating onions and potatoes, does it make me bad?
No,
But my
no.
religion forbids me from eating that.
Yes. So I will tell you, dharma is different from religion. Okay. And religion is not an individualistic aspect, it is a community. I belong to this particular thing, so I become that. But there are two things. I will tell you, the son of Shiva himself hated Shiva's principles and followed Vishnu's Skanda. It doesn't mean that he is not the son of Shiva. He told Shiva, "You never liked me as a father. The moment I was born, I was thrown out. Okay, you did not do justice with me. You will know in future, all the stories you will know. You did not make me the king. I deserved it, and I was the first person to slay Tarakasur. You didn't even appreciate me. So I don't think that I follow your principles." And he was more inclined to Vaishnavism. That's why you see him in South India. In North India, there is no that much of Skandas. You see, all South India, especially Tamil Nadu, is full of Skanda. Murugan. Okay, he'll come to South India. Our Puranas are telling the son himself did not challenge his father, but he proved himself. Lot of times we fail there. We don't prove ours. There is a process of convincing. If you don't believe, there is a way to tell that I don't believe and take the courage. I want to be in the community, but inside, but I like to be outside. That doesn't work. You have to make up your mind, either I will be inside or outside. Just because I want my parents, I follow this, but I don't like this. This is what I call it as cosmic conflicts. Dharma stands on 5 principles, that is Salukya, Samipya, Sarupya, Srishti, and Sayuj. Okay, that is Dharma and myself are same world. Okay, which we call it as Salukya. Okay, both our lokas are same. I am very clear about it. My Dharma and myself are same. But religion can't be like that. Okay, I have been told that you are a Brahmin. I don't know. I've been told by my parents that you are a. Somebody is told by someone that you are a Hindu, that you are a Muslim, that you are a Christian, you are a Jain or a Buddhist. Salukya is different. Okay, but in Dharma Salukya, we both belong. Our values, our personal values, professional values are all same. Okay, that is number one pillar of Dharma and how it is different from religion. Second one is Samipya, nearness. I live inside the Dharma. That is beautiful. And I surround the Dharma, I encapsulate the Dharma. Dharma is mine. You cannot say that religion, I belong to this religion. There is a complete change of sentence. Okay, I belong to this religion because it is not just mine. Okay, but Dharma is mine. So nearness, Samipya. And the third pillar of it is the Sarupya. That is same form. I and Dharma looks like same. Because I carry my values with me. Wherever I go, my values follows me. So both our rupas are same. No, you cannot tell the religion in the religion that I and the religion are same. I may not be able to follow this, but I will follow this because my parents want me to do that. Sarupya is not there. So that's how it differentiates Dharma and religion. And fourth one is Srishti, creation. I have not created religion, but I can create Dharma. I can create my values. I can design my professional values. I can structure it. I can prioritize, write my preferences very clearly in my life. That is Dharma. And finally, Sayujya. I merge with my Dharma and Dharma merges in me. You cannot tell that religion merges with me. It's community. When we are in a religion, there are certain norms that knowingly or unknowingly, wantingly or not, we may have to follow. If I don't want to follow, then I have to go out because Dharma is different from religion. Hope I answered this question.
So, ma'am, is there a possibility like out of personal experience, my parents followed Jainism to the core. When I was not married, I followed it to the core, but now that I'm married, I don't see the same inclination towards Jainism when it comes to my husband or my in laws. So then I started drifting apart. Like it was very difficult to follow because then I had to cook two different meals. One is Jain meal, one is regular meal. So then suddenly I gave in. Ki Baba, how is there? Like I know so many of my Brahmin friends who don't eat eggs, but they eat eggs outside. The parents don't know, but they have extramarital affairs, or they smoke, or they drink. So then, how do we like?
That is whatever question that you are asking is individualistic.
Okay.
Again, the whole thing falls under dharma. What is my values? It is individualistic.
How
by
does it
nature.
change? Like customize, like with certain people, I like to drink. In front of certain people, I say no, I don't touch alcohol. Why is this happening?
Because there is no salukya, there is no samipya, there is no sarupya,
How
there
to
is no.
develop it, and if one doesn't have it, is it good or bad?
There is nothing called as good and bad. It is highly individualistic. If I am doing this, only I can answer. It is my experience. Otherwise, I am only a person who is seeing something happening. Say that I have a friend, okay, who drinks with her friends but doesn't with the family members. I'm only seeing her. I don't know her experience. I don't know her past experiences. I don't know her relationship with friends. I don't know her relationship with family members. It is her who have made the choice. How do I judge the choice? How do I talk on behalf? That is what Dharma says. Dharma is creation, not judgment. Create my own Dharma. Look, this is something. Sit with the family members if you are so outspoken about this. Look, I like social drinking. So I have my friends who drink. I'll go and drink. Is that the courage, guts?
Yeah, it's like everybody knows, but nobody talks about it.
Yes, that's exactly I'm trying to tell. See, dharma is something that penetrates through all the koshas. Religion stops at one kosha. It is all about how you eat. It's all about what you practice, what you wear, and all that is religion. It doesn't get into pranamaya kosha. Doesn't give you that vital energy to live. Dharma gives. Okay, it doesn't make your manomaya kosha healthy. It doesn't provoke your thoughts. Religion only will put your thoughts down, look down upon you, or tell you are right and wrong, you are bad and good. Okay, it will not give you that Vijnanamaya kosha is not healthy, or it is not made healthy by any of the religious practices, because it will not give you logical answer why you need to do this. Dharma does.
सब कर रहा है इसलिए हम भी कर रहे हैं.
And of course, Anandamaya is there. Where how much ever you do in the name of religion, you are not feeling happy because that dharma is not explored.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
So thank you, Dr. Asha, for that clarity we all needed about, because when we use, there are a lot of synonymous words used around dharma, and it is
Yes.
sometimes used, that creates a confusion. And with this, we understood we need all three, Sarasvatī, Sāvitrī, Gāyatrī, within us to be dharmic.
Yes.
Yeah, that is the essence.
And the best example that I can give and quote during Navaratri is the Garba dance. Okay, so there are my Gujarati friends here. So Garba is the cosmic womb, Hiranya Garbha. Okay, where you light a diya inside a pot, you keep it in the center and dance around it. Okay, what do you understand? There is a Jyoti or the Jyotistoma inside the Garbha, and the Garbha is holded by the nature, and we are all the role players around. And the Maya is we too don't know why we are dancing. We will only know the opportunity is there for us to dance, and we are dancing. But finally, we don't know why we are dancing. That is how the cosmic womb works around us. It's an unknown hand that will come to you, make you do something, and sometimes we regret, sometimes we are proud about our own action. That is why Shiva Purana is required to put us to consciousness, and where I witness all my actions, putting all my indriyas in place.
Ma'am, this will be the last question for the session. This is from Bhavisha. Ma'am, I would love to know a few practical ways to dissolve ahankara.
Okay. The practical ways, I would like to bring in the concept of the universal dharma, or what we say, the Shiva Tattva or Shivatva, Shiva Rahasya. This has been picked from Shiva Rahasya. So why do you think that Shiva looks like that? The kind of Shakti he has. His own concept is Shakti. Okay, what else he wants? He himself is mind, and there is a Shakti, and the union of Shiva Shakti can do whatever it wants. It can manifest anything. But why Shiva is not an Aham? Because there's some things that Shiva gives away out of his life. One is he doesn't comb his hair and he puts Ganga on his head, and throughout his body is bhasma. He doesn't have any beautiful ornaments or any apparels for him. There is no designers, though he can afford it. And through bhiksha he eats. Lot of times our success, we stop being that person whom we were before when success hits you. It's very important for us to understand when Shakti is beside, when you have power, and when you have everything in your life, how do you behave? So it is said that you should behave like Shiva. Because people should stay happy in the relationship, he doesn't comb his, let us be mine. Just because he wants everybody to stay out of thirst for relationship. Okay, he takes the huge responsibility of putting Ganga on his head. You cannot carry one pot. Okay, Shiva has taken the oath for the sake of us to put Ganga on his head so that we get water and we get that emotional support. And there are a lot of people who go through body image issues and so many things, So for us to stay beautiful, for us to have that beauty within, he scores all the bhasma on his face and body. We say he is a Gauranga. He's the most handsome person. He can stay however he wants, but why? He's throwing ahankar under his feet. How much ever handsome I am, I don't want. And why that snake around his neck? Because to give that beautiful speech, that Nada Brahma, he has encapsulated his neck, Vishuddhi. For us to stay healthy, for us to have that, security, the feeling of security, he has thrown all his clothes and sitting in a 0-degree Kailasa. For us, he is sitting on the Nandi and have given that vehicle called wisdom to us. So if Shiva has attended his ahankar in this way, how we need to attend our ahankar. There are 7 colors for ahankar. Can I take 5 more minutes? Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the first is the red color of ahankar. That is having that ahankar on what I eat, what I wear, my bank balances and all that. So feeling of nothingness there will elevate you to the second color. Okay, how much ever you have, how much ever beautiful you look like, it's nothing. It's nothing in front of Shiva, who has given his beauty, and he doesn't even sit with his wife. They don't have privilege to even be intimate with each other. Wherever you go to Shiva temple, you don't find Parvati's temple right beside, far away. He has even given that relationship for us, but still he loves us. The second color is orange. Orange is being that thing on our progress, the success mantra. I'm successful, I'm that achievements. If ahankar is taking over your achievements, then stop and think. That's the color of ahankar. We need to work. And the third thing is, if I am crazy, proud on the outcomes or on my outputs or my leverages, the way I talk, the way I being enterprising or my speech or whatever it is, then that is when it is coming in the way of wisdom. Okay, though you are skilled, ahankar is taking away the privilege of being skilled. How can you practice humility there? Though you have cooked great food to people, how can you still be humble? That is why we see those who cook has to serve. The reason is very simple. We know the value of cooking only when we serve. And we know the value how to serve only when we have cooked. So life is also like when we lead our life thoroughly, being that self and being that present, okay, we know to value life. Failure teaches the value, how to value success. Pain teaches how to value pleasure. And green color, okay, the green ahankar is all about emotions. I'm totally excited when I'm having everything and I victimize myself when I don't have anything. Ahankar is also victimization. Telling myself, you Papa, you are so thin. No, God has given me privilege to get up. It's an opportunity. The whole world is full of opportunities. Opportunities are abundance, just that I need to open my eyes. What suits me, what's not, what not. This will happen only when I know myself without ahankar. Not me as any identity or son of somebody or daughter of somebody or wife of somebody. As a person, how do I look? And then the Vishuddhi. Ahankar through words, blaming, scoldings, and how do you take care in British? If you have been in Europe, you will know this. They date for 3 months or 4 months. They don't commit unless until they study how they behave with other people, not with them. How do they behave with waiters? How do they behave with drivers? How do they behave with the other people around? Only when they see that, then they're going to commit. So it's very important that how you talk to somebody who is lesser than you, who is lower to you, or in a low pedestal. How do you take care of them? How do you be non-biased? How do you accept things? What is healthy expectation and unhealthy expectation? Do you know about it? That is your Vishuddhi or the blue color. So if your ahankar stays that, the relationship will vaporize. And the indigo, your Agna chakra, how you command, how you take decisions, how you impose your decisions on others. Just because somebody is weak, just because you have a child at home, how do you impose? Okay, finally, the spiritual ego. Today, this has become the hot topic for discussion, spiritual ego. I am a spiritual person, but it's ahankar, right? So, ahankar has so many colors. Where your ahankar is, you need to explain. Hope I have answered this question, Deepti.
Yes, Dr. Asha, that too beautifully giving us layers and dimensions of ahankar. It's not just, we use this word either to blame or to
Yeah.
tell our own selves that I am away from it, but still that has essence of ahankar is what we understood. And thank you for leaving us with this reflective thought process. Where do we stand as people? You know,
Yeah.
it can only be happening through reflection, and thank you for leaving on this note, and we will be eager to know what happens next. We know.
In the next week, you will be hearing to the story of Chanchala and the story
Okay.
of Nala Damayanti, and also the beautiful story of how Sati is born and how she gets attracted to Shiva. So, with all sorts of epistemology, we're going to narrate.
So
And
the creation is almost there. We will also be entering how the world starts celebrating that creation. Thank you so much for
yes,
giving us
thank you
that.
so much, and
Thank you, ma'am.
thank you for giving me this opportunity to bring Shiva Purana. When I narrate, I also live with it. So, thanks for giving me this opportunity.